Well met, fellow travelers. I am the Third Blue Wizard, and this is Bite-Sized Middle-earth. This is the first in what I hope will be a series of videos about events in that greatest of all tales, The Lord of the Rings. Some journeys begin in a hobbit hole, but this journey begins when the Fellowship has entered Moria, led by Gandalf. I have chosen this as a starting point because there's just so much going on here that is not apparent to the casual reader. So let's begin by noting that Gollum is already here. After escaping from the Elves of Mirkwood Forest, he made his way into Moria from the other side and ended up stuck near the west entrance because he did not know how to open the friend door from the other side. He hung around here for a while, presumably snacking on orcs just like he did in another one of the Misty Mountains when he was snacking on goblins before meeting Bilbo. It's simply part of the fate of Eru Ilúvatar that these events, among many, just happen to set up things for the destruction of the ring. I hope to talk more about this in future videos. Just now, a Lovecraftian creature has chased the Fellowship inside after Boromir disturbed it with a rock. There isn't much known about this creature, known as the Watcher in the Water, but it's theorized that it's one of the many nameless things who occupy the underworld beneath Middle-earth. This one presumably emerged from beneath Moria, thus leading to the trapping of the Fellowship and the death of Gimli's uncle Owen. The Fellowship is now trapped in Moria, so they head east with Gollum following behind, and later on possibly ahead of the party. Because after the Bridge of Khazad-dûm is destroyed by Gandalf, taking the Balrog down into the depths, it's obvious that Gollum couldn't follow it that way. So we don't know for sure, but there are really only two options. Either Gollum ran ahead of them, knowing that he could not follow unseen over the narrow bridge, or he made his way around the long way and eventually caught up with them later. When Gandalf and the Balrog fell together, the specifics of how they managed to survive the Great Fall are not told. The community feels pretty confident that Balrogs don't have wings, at least not ones made of anything more substantial than shadow, so it presumably did not use them to slow its fall. Gandalf made use of magic in many ways, but there is no evidence that he knew a Featherfall-like spell. We basically just don't know. Both Gandalf and the Balrog are Maiar, aka servants of Valar and spirits in their own right who have existed since before Middle-earth was formed. But they were still mortal in the sense that their physical bodies could be killed, and certainly Gandalf would have died if he had simply landed hard on the lake they fell into. But, however it happened, Gandalf and the Balrog did not die from the fall. In fact, from these depths, the Balrog fled with Gandalf following behind up the endless stair until they made their way to the peak of Mount Celebdil. There they fought for days until finally Gandalf managed to slay the Balrog before dying himself. Gandalf existed outside of time for a bit. Then Eru sent him back naked to the top of the mountain. The fact that he was naked implies that he was sent back in a new body rather than reinserted into a healed version of his old body, which presumably was still clothed. But he was sent back to the same place so he could collect Narya, the Ring of Fire, as well as Glamdring, his sword, both of which we see in his possession later on. He got a lift from the eagle Gwaihir again, his second flight on Gwaihir, and his third flight on an eagle that we know of, this time from the mountaintop down to Lorien, where he arrived very soon after the Fellowship left. From there, the newly reborn Gandalf the White made his way southwest of the Forest of Fanghorn, where he meets up again with Strider, Legolas, and Gimli. I think that's a good place to stop for now. If you enjoyed this and would like more videos like these, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which part of the journey you'd most like to hear about next. Or if I've made mistakes or you just really want to talk about Balrog wings, I'm happy to reply in the comments. I'm the Third Blue Wizard, and I wish you all a good journey.